Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Haley if you're new here, and I'm a dental student in Michigan finishing up my third year of dental school, and I'm taking my national boards exam in this video. So I'm taking part 1 tomorrow, which is around 350 questions, scheduled for up to 8 hours, but most people take about 6 because you move through the questions faster, you don't have to use the full length of the breaks that are included, and you don't have to use the full tutorial, things like that. And then there is a second day that you have to sign up for within 7 calendar days of the first date. So mine is going to be Saturday, Monday. They're not open on Sundays, so you could do like Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Monday, like Wednesday, Friday if you wanted, but I wanted to miss as little bit of school and clinic as possible, so I did Saturday and Monday. And Monday is shorter. It's only, I think, 140 questions, 170 questions, something like that, and it's all case-based. So it's really a lot like your DAT because it's at a prometric center, standardized tests, people around you taking all different kinds of tests, multiple choice. You have to check in with 2 forms of ID. So a photo ID, which is either your passport or your like government ID license. So I have that in my wallet, and then I also have my credit card with my name on the back as my second form of ID, and I'm bringing that, plus I'm bringing my passport, plus I have other cards in here with my name on it, and I brought my school ID. So I would think that that should be enough backup forms of identification to ease my nerves. And then in my bag I also have all of these items. So we've got water, Cheez-Its, protein bars as snacks, like I said, wallet with my IDs and cards, passport, school ID. I'm just bringing my notebook with some boards things in it just cause why not? And then pens and pencils, and I brought a mask in case they mention wearing one, but I know that we don't have to. And I brought my glasses in case something happens with my contacts, and a backup pair of contacts. So you can tell that I'm prepared. I'm also bringing my little container that has like Motrin, stomach meds. So I am covering all my bases. You know, I like to be prepared and it makes me less anxious, so. All right, I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm about to go in to take my INBDE. I think the main thing I'm feeling is like adrenaline because I'm really excited to be done, but it's like nervous energy. So can't wait to be done with the first day. All right, I'm done with the first day. I'm gonna give a few quick thoughts because I have somewhere to go. I could have just been late to this. It's like a family event, but I got done so early that I could be on time for the event, so I gotta go and try to be on time. But I went in at 8, like an hour before my test was scheduled to start, and they let me start and set up. I took it at Ann Arbor's Prometric Center, so where my dental school is. But my other experience with Prometric for the DAT, they also let me start early. I never tried to start an hour early, but today they were actually encouraging me to because they're like, it's such a long test, you want to get your day moving, blah, blah, blah. General recommendations, I think it's better to wear layers, so if you're hot or cold. Less pockets is better because they have less to check. I obviously finished pretty quick. The first 300 questions, it was 100 questions, 15-minute break, which I used to have a quick protein bar and use the restroom. Then I went back and did the next 100 questions, skipped the 30-minute break, like I didn't even get up, did my next 100 questions, and then you had a 15-minute break before your last 60 of the case base. So I used that break just for another bite of a snack and some water. Went back, powered through those. I thought my case-based questions were fairly difficult. It just wasn't like a straight answer for probably half of them. So I'm hoping I picked what they wanted me to pick. And in terms of content, I had basically no genetics and syndromes, and if I did, they gave you like a ton of context information. You weren't like diagnosing from a list of symptoms. And I didn't have a ton of pharmacology either, but I had one really kind of random, less common drug, and they asked about it 3 times. So if you didn't know that one drug, you would have gotten multiple questions wrong, which thankfully I looked at it right before I went in. I was studying a list of pharm and that was on there, so I got it right every time, but I didn't have a ton of pharm, which is good because that was one of my weak areas. Genetics was one of my weak areas. I didn't have a lot of that. I would say mine felt pretty perio heavy. I didn't have any orthodontics in my first day. A decent amount perio endo diagnoses, things like that. And I also found some of the research-based questions to be a little challenging just because I'm also not that straightforward on differentiating between the different study types. And I didn't have much math or calculation. I ended up marking 78 of the 360 questions, which is like a 78% if I were to get all of those wrong, which realistically I probably got some of them wrong and also got some of the ones I didn't mark wrong. But I would imagine then that I passed at least the first day, so hopefully Monday goes just as well and I can pass. But you have to wait 3 to 4 weeks to find out if you pass. So all right, it's Monday morning. As my mug and blanket would suggest, I am getting comfy and reviewing before I drive over to Prometric and then go in to take the second day of my test. So I've got some notes here. This is a farm random things. I want to make sure I remember one on oral path syndromes, which I didn't get much of on my first day. I got some path stuff, but not really like the syndromes that they talk about. So maybe I'm going to get a lot of that today. So I want to make sure I review it. Or there's a chance that my test just doesn't have a lot of pathology, which is very much possible. I've also got breakfast here. I could barely eat before my first day. I think I had like half of a bagel, but I'm gonna have my bagel and fruit and coffee like I normally do on a normal morning because I'm a lot less nervous for today. I'm obviously a little nervous because I thought that the cases the first day were challenging and today is all cases, but I gotta just trust myself and the 3 months of studying that I did. So I didn't really review between day 1 and day 2, which was Saturday to today, Monday. So I didn't really review Saturday afternoon and evening, and I didn't review anything Sunday. I just planned to get up today around 6:15, which is what I did, and I'm gonna study for about an hour just reviewing those documents that are like the high yield information from boot camp and reviewing the notes that I had made about pharmacology, genetics, and then I also made another one that's called random facts. Okay, so this is very retrospective now because this is after everything has happened, but I'm gonna walk you through day 2 and trying to find out my results. So day 2, I honestly did not feel great walking out. I still, based on like the questions that I had marked, felt like I passed, but I wasn't that confident that I passed compared to the first day. Because the second day is all cases, to me, some questions just didn't seem like this is for sure the right answer. Like there was a lot of circumstances where I was kind of between 2 answers. I still picked the one that I felt was correct, but I just wasn't sure. So when my test was done, I thought I would feel really relieved and just like, these 3 months of studying, it's over, it's done. But I really didn't, and that's because you don't know your results for what they say is 3 to 4 weeks. So after the first couple days, I kind of got over it and just wasn't thinking about it at all, but I didn't feel like I passed my test. Like people at school would be like, oh, congrats, you're done. And I'd be like, oh, thanks, but I still don't know if I passed. So at the 2-week mark, I logged in to check just out of curiosity if my scores would be there, and they weren't. And I heard from pretty much everyone across different schools that their scores came up at the 2.5 week mark. So I took my second day on a Monday, so I checked 2 weeks from that Monday, and then 2.5 weeks would be Thursday. So just being the person that I am, I had to look every single day. So I looked on Monday, like I said, no results. I looked on Tuesday, no results. I looked Wednesday, no results. And then on Thursday, I was hoping it would be in the morning, and it wasn't. And most people's were in like after the workday was over. So I looked and it wasn't there. But then I checked one more time in the late evening. The big login Thursday night. I'm nervous. I feel like it is gonna be there now. I haven't had this feeling yet that it's there. Oh my God, it's there. Oh. I passed! Right there, passed. Yay! Woo, 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 woo. So a couple things I want to answer before I wrap up this video of me taking the boards and finding out my results. So was 3 months of studying enough time or too much? I think it was a good amount of time for me because I was fairly busy still. I had a lot of other involvements going on that meant I couldn't study sometimes the 3-4 hours that you needed to every day. So I had spread it out over 3 months instead of what a lot of people do is 2 months. I think the 2 months is definitely doable if you're willing to give all of your weekends the whole time you're studying and can do at least 3 hours a day after school or like during breaks during the school day. But for me, the 3 months was perfect. I didn't feel like I wanted to keep studying anymore. I was just ready to get it over with. And I think no matter when you take it, your last couple weeks, you're just gonna be that much more focused and motivated and get a lot done with however long you give yourself to study. So I feel like in those last couple weeks is when I really started to see improvements in my practice test scores and everything. You can see that in the video before this of where it was my last week prepping for the boards. And as I mentioned in that video of prepping for the boards and my other one about the INBDE, my primary resource was INBDE Bootcamp. So you can check that one out if you're interested in how I use the platform to study. But I also have a discount code for Dental Mastery, which is an app and a website with a ton of practice questions as well that's a little bit more affordable. So if you are thinking you want to be reviewing before you start your actual months of studying, I think that's a great way to do it because it can give you examples of what practice questions are going to be like. So with all that said and done, that'll be the end of this video. I'm so happy to be done with boards, and as I'm filming this, I'm starting my 4th year of dental school, so I'm very excited to be in the home stretch of everything. I will see you all in the next video.